So awesome. I think we are live. Let's see.
Awesome. Let's
Actually, no, I think this is scheduled for 2:15, so it's not actually live yet.
So we have to wait 15 minutes?
I don't know. I say we just roll with it, and then if people just hop in, we just apologize because we obviously don't know what the hell we're doing, which is pretty standard. Awesome. So I think we are finally live. So what's up, everybody? I think everybody can finally see. As you can see, Kevin and I are both completely confused. We don't even know what the hell we're doing, but hopefully this is the first and the last time that we have that much confusion. And I mean, Kevin, that was almost nearly enough to pull your hair out. You know, it's taken you 6 months long to actually grow that mop. You want to show everybody that
Yeah, absolutely.
Just grown in.
This is a quarantine hair. Had to do it up a little bit for YouTube.
Yeah, so it took we actually the reason we went early is I thought it was going to take Kevin about an hour to fix his hair because that's what it usually takes, but he was done in 30 minutes. So I apologize that we're early, and I know I like to be early, but not usually this early. So what we're going to start doing here, guys and gals, is every single week we're going to go live and kind of show you guys how we're going to take our resale business from zero to hero. And by that, I really mean my resale business, because Kevin's been plugging right along ever since I actually showed him what are the really cool tools that we are using to do this. And I'm going to introduce you that and a whole lot more. And we're also going to talk about what we've been able to get at the stores, what we've been able to cop, as the cool kids say, what we've copped at stores, what we've missed at stores, what we're looking forward to at stores, and a heck of a lot more, including whether or not you want to shop just online and or in actual physical location. Yeah, I know Kevin's going to look a little blurry. I think something's going on with his internet. He can't fix it. So you guys will not get to look at his handsome face. Next time, though, we will make sure that he's got everything fixed and he's all ready to go. And, of course, his hair will always be as beautiful as ever. So one thing before I jump in here and show you guys how we're kind of getting some of these deals is an actual email message that I got. I thought it'd be interesting to share with you guys. So I'm going to go ahead and jump on my screen share and show you guys what we're dealing with here. Let me see here. I'm going to share my screen and you guys will be able to see this actual email that I got, which I think is like really interesting because it kind of shows the length that we're going to here to be able to bring you guys all this information that we're bringing you. So here is the email that I got. And I think Kevin can see that there. It says, this is the email that I got here. It says, so I'm in the group, but I've gotten so many notifications on my phone that it was frankly annoying and I have no idea what I'm supposed to be doing with these notifications. What's the point of this group? So obviously we don't want people like that jumping into the group, not knowing what the heck to do. So I'm going to show you guys just real quickly before we actually start with what's out there and what's fantastic in the world of reselling, to show you guys what you should be doing when you get into the group. And I clearly stated this in a video that I'm about to show you guys here, where you can find that video. And I really want you to do yourself a favor and do us a favor as well, but mostly yourself, because if you really want to make a go at this and you really want to make money, which I'm very positive you can, because trust me, I've showed so many people this technique, and the people that have stuck with it, no matter what age they are, no matter what their bankroll is, no matter any of those things, they have managed to make money as long as they follow the directions and they stuck it out. And again, this is not for everyone. This is not for the faint of heart, because you are going to have to put a little bit of money out on the line to buy some products. But hey, don't we have to put money out on the line for everything? I mean, I can tell you one thing. I've got a bill coming every month from a college that I attended for a degree that I never used and I never will probably use ever. So that was a lot of money on the line. I mean, Kevin, how much money did your family spend sending you to college?
Geez, at least 100K, I think, even though.
At least 100K. And I mean, you did have a job for quite a while in the corporate world using that actual degree, and you still kind of use it to a certain extent in the actual jobs that you do right now, your self-employment and all that good stuff. But the reality is that was $100,000. If you could take that back, imagine what you could do with it right now. Imagine if you had it to put the money into reselling stuff, where you would be at in the next year or so.
Yeah, absolutely. College was definitely a very expensive activity.
Absolutely. So let me show you guys the group really quick. I want you guys all in there if you're not already in there. And here's the important part. Right here where it says start here, it says do this first. There's a reason it says that. Right here, this $100 a day video will show you how to mute a bunch of those notifications and only be notified for things that you really want. and it's going to show you a heck of a lot more. So I want every single one of you to watch that before you proceed, before you ask any questions. Do that first and then go forward. Now let's talk about some of the rooms in here, and then I'll have Kevin talk about some of his favorite rooms, and I'll talk about some of my favorite rooms. And maybe you can just interrupt me, Kevin, as I go along to see which rooms you actually like. So
yeah, definitely.
First and foremost, some of my favorite ones are right here in the announcements. So the reason for that is a lot of times we'll just hop in there and throw out a deal that we find here or there among all the different connections we have. So here yesterday was this Pokemon card one, which I popped up here. It's unavailable, but yesterday I copped 4 of these bad boys for $49.99. Kevin, did you get any of these?
Yep, I actually got one set of these Pokemon trainers too. So this is definitely a stronghold.
Right. So let me kind of show you guys why I did that. So if we go back over here, I had to show you some of my sales, which I'll show you here later on. But if we go right here, and you guys can clearly see my store. I mean, I've been doing eBay for a long time. Take a look at it. It's not any secret. Here I am. That's me. Hello, 4,169 reviews. That means, oh, guess what? I guess I've been selling on eBay. I'm not full of crap after all, right? And so let's take a look. I do want you guys to imagine 4,100 reviews. If you actually think about the amount of actual sales that I've had on there, do the math in your head. I know you guys understand that not everybody gives reviews, and you'll kind of have your mind blown as to the amount of actual sales that I've had. And I will say this much, I haven't been selling on eBay for the past 15 years. So that 4,100 was acquired over a couple year period over 15 years ago. So I've had my chance at making money at a lot of things, and I've made money at a lot of things. So this, I can say, is the most exciting thing, and one of the most exciting things I've ever come across in all 20 some years that I've done online marketing. And that's all I've ever really done. And you guys can hear in the background, the Discord server is going off. So there's deals going left and right. So here are those Pokemon cards. And as you can see right here, the key things that I look for right here is the simple fact that they are $90 right now, listed for $90. And we have 1,600 results. These are live and listed. So this is one thing for $90, where we paid, what was it, $49.99?
Yep.
Yeah, $49.99. Now I'm going to check off sold items. And right here on sold items, you're going to see that right here, somebody sold a lot of one for $160. Here's some for $80. Here's another set for $167, which means you could have taken your $100 and you could have turned them into $170. And then, of course, you got to pay eBay. So what I always like to do is for an eBay calculator. And the eBay calculator right here, it'd be right here. So sold price, let's say we sold them for $170. We weren't charged shipping. It was free shipping. And we did not charge them for shipping. And the item cost us, let's say $107. We'll just say that. I have an eBay store. Total profit is going to cost me to ship to them. Maybe let's just put $12. I'm still going to make $30. So Kevin, I'm obviously not an accountant. And if you even ask me to do this simple math, what kind of return am I getting on my money there?
I mean, that's a pretty healthy return. I mean, if you're looking at like
a 30% return,
30%, right? 30% profit margins. I mean, there's not too many e-commerce businesses out there that can guarantee you a 30% return. So
wow, I'm just getting smarter hanging out with you, Kevin, because I wouldn't have been able to calculate that before. But now, just by the sheer presence of your hair, I'm able to tell that we got that much. So awesome. And I see a lot of people hopping in here. I see Janan on here. I see From here. I see Adrienne. I see Omar here. What's up, Omar? I see a lot of people. Beautis Sounds. Fantastic. I don't even think I can say that right, but I can attempt to say it. So I see a lot of beautiful people on here. I can at least see that. Say that. Okay, and now let's go back to these Pokemon cards and the eBay thing. So $30, I got 2 sets. So coming up to Christmas, I will say this much. These are going to sell for a lot more. I just had a chat with Kevin, and we were talking about a lot of the stuff that we're copying, a lot of the stuff that we're passing on. And this was on our list, which is Pokemon cards, which, as you guys can understand, Pokemon cards are all the rage, and they're going to be just fire this holiday season. But there's a couple other things that we want to talk about. So I know with that, we're going to go ahead and jump on in and start talking about a couple other things that we wanted to discuss. So Kevin, what was the first thing we had on our agenda?
Yeah, so I think a good place to start is just some of like the recent sales we've had, right? Some of the upcoming things. So I'll start it off first. Personally, still going hard on this sort of like heater trend, right? So recently, was able to cop 2 heaters, sold one already for about, I think I sold that one for $350, purchased it for about $200 shipped. So $150. I mean, this is definitely, I think, Liz, you dubbed that car money, right? This is money that you can potentially make a car payment with. So we're inching towards that trend. So I got another heater. Still a lot of hits on locally, just on Craigslist. So this is definitely something that as the weather gets cooler and cooler, you're going to start to see a lot of people wanting to buy these heaters, and they're out of stock everywhere, right? So again, with our sort of Discord group, you're going to know exactly when something's in stock, and it's just going to ping you throughout the day.
Absolutely. And I'm saying hi to everybody here on the server. I'm also taking some notes here. But what's up, Chris? What's up, Adrian? What's up, everyone out there? And Kevin's absolutely right. So I'm going to show you guys a couple of my sales. We know that Kevin is crushing it with the heaters, and he's also in a cold region. So here's one thing that I wanted to stress to you guys. If you're in Miami or in Florida like me, you might not have that much success with actual heaters. But don't worry, when summer rolls around, you will have a ton of success with water sports and things of that nature, like kayaks and pools and all sorts of things like that Kevin will have a more difficult time selling because of the fact that he's in the West Coast where it doesn't get as hot. Like in Miami, it's still hot. I'm out there with shorts and a t-shirt, and it's still hot. And I can tell you that I still drip in sweat once I get home from a 30-minute walk. It's boiling hot over here. So what I'm going to show you guys is some of the sales that I've had on eBay. And you're going to notice, because remember I told you, I'm building a handful of businesses in this 30-day challenge, and it's from the ground up. So you're going to notice that I really haven't sold jack. And the reason I haven't sold jack is not because I'm being lazy or anything, but I've been trying to get this together for you guys. So I'm going to go ahead and pull up some of my eBay sales as I was showing you, and there has not been much. So you're going to see what I'm actually selling. Let's go into selling, and then we'll go into orders. And you're going to see that it's been dry. The well's been dry the past 31 days, $145. And those $145 have primarily been things that have been sitting on the shelf for a long time, and then I just haven't had the opportunity to sell. So a couple of them are things that I copped online, but then I'm going to show you guys my drafts. They're about to go up. You'll see all my drafts. So I've got a couple pairs of shoes. If you're a person that picks up shoes in places, here's a couple of the webcams that are still selling for me. I still got one available, but I sold these 2 in the past 30 days. And I've also sold all these shoes. These shoes I picked up for $3. I sold for $89. These shoes I picked up for $25. I sold for $99. These were also $3. They were $34.99. And these were $40, and they sold for $240. So I am selling things slowly but surely. But then I'll also show you my StockX. So on my StockX account, you're going to notice.
Just checking. Are you sharing your screen right now?
Oh, let me get my screen going. Again, like I said, we're going to have a bunch of technical issues, obviously, because I'm not that good at this stuff yet. I'm glad you guys mentioned that. All right, let's go into my screen share. Now you guys should be able to see my sales. Can you guys see that now?
Yep, perfect.
All right, fantastic. So here we are. Here's some shoes. These I picked up for $3. I sold for $34.99. I picked them up at Ross in case anybody's out there that likes to go look for stuff. I picked these up for $25, sold them for $100. These cams were done. There's still one available here, but these were done through online arbitrage, which we're showing you right now. These shoes were $40. I sold them for $240. These were $3. I sold them for $89. And this camera, again, was picked up through this arbitrage model. Now, you will notice that I don't have a lot of this stuff because I recently just started this up within the past. I think it's been 10 days since I started this challenge. So if I go over here into my listings, you're going to see all my drafts. I've got a ton of drafts. 24 right now so far, going up. A lot of shoes, and here you'll see a lot of the stuff that I had left over that I slept on, because you guys know I had a bunch of personal issues. So we'll see what happens with that. But I have a feeling that a lot of it's still going to sell pretty decently. Like I'll at least get most of my money back. I would say 90 to 95% of my money back. But I did sleep on this stuff for what now, Kevin? Like 4 months?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. So it's been a while, but you're going to see that. And the main reason why I'm doing this now and selling it now is to show you guys that even 4 months ago, the stuff that I bought is still going to sell, and I'm still going to get most of my money back. But the stuff that I'm buying right now, like Mario and Luigi stuff and all the good stuff that I've been showing you guys in the group, is going to make up for all this crap that I sat on and got lazy on and just totally left to lie in its own grave. So that's there. Let me show you guys on StockX real quick. I've got 2 pending sales right now. I've got these, which I never meant to buy, but I was trying to test a bot out. So we're going to talk about bots a little bit later here. And so I lost a little bit of money in these, but these I made money, and a bunch of the other shoes that I actually sold, I made some pretty decent money. But these shoes were primarily bought to make sure I got the handle of the bot. So you can tell from the fact that I had to buy those shoes that I did get the handle of the bot. Unfortunately, I got the handle of the bot on the wrong set of shoes. So now it's all said and done. But that's kind of my sales, and to run you guys through some of it now. I will have some decent amount of sales next week to show you guys. All right. So what's
just on a quick side note, even though you sat on those products for like the past, 3 months, from my personal experience, I have never ever lost a single dollar since reselling like this. Right? You can always sell something for whatever you bought it for at the bare minimum. So
right, absolutely. So that's kind of what I'm doing. So I think the worst I would lose is my eBay fee, which is 10%. So I'm guessing that might be the case, but if you really think about it, that's a lot of capital that I could pour into brand new products, which are going to have at least, like you saw earlier, the Pokemon cards had a 30% return. And that's kind of a smaller amount of return than what we usually look for. So all right, so just thought we'd share some sales with you guys. What do we have next, Kevin? Since I obviously can't remember what I ate for breakfast, I'm going to need some help with this.
Yeah, so I think our upcoming drops, just some things that we're looking forward to, what we think are hot items, whether it's for like the immediate future or closer to like Christmas. So some of our upcoming drops, we have things related to some Halloween items. On the screen right now, I think Liz is pointing towards, for those of you who don't know, Kith is a huge streetwear brand based out of New York. So they're actually dropping this tomorrow. I think it's 11 a.m. Eastern time. They're going to be dropping a Kith for BMW collaboration where they're going to make a bunch of like hoodies, sort of like baseball caps, sweaters. And I think those are going to resell for very well. So, yeah, if you click on the lookbook on the very top, the first link right there. Yep, the lookbook. It'll just show you some of the ideas of like what's coming out. So if those of you who are, fans of the BMW Motorsport division, which is like their like racing performance division, they're going to be coming out with these sweaters, jackets. This is definitely going to be a hot item for you to resell, whether you're on like StockX, Goat, Grailed. It's definitely gonna. I think it's probably gonna 2.5x whatever money that you put in.
Yeah. So let me ask you a couple questions on this, Kevin. Any one product in mind that a lot of people are actually looking at to go for with this?
Yeah, so I would say if you scroll down a little bit, I would say the hats, any of the hats are definitely going to be hot, right? Beanies, but if you think about scrolling, maybe they're not showing it here, but they have an assortment of hats that they have. These jackets should be hot as well. Yeah, if you keep scrolling, scroll one over, or keep scrolling to the right. Yeah, more. Yep, just keep going. So these are like sort of like cable knit sweaters. I would think these half zip, quarter zips are definitely going to be hot. Scroll one over. These ones for sure, even though it's a small logo, that small subtle detailing, this is just such a like a everyday piece that you can wear. So I think this is definitely going to fetch definitely a higher premium.
Let me ask you a question about this, Kevin, because I did see there's a couple of people that posted not only in the comments, but also in the Discord channel that, oh, it was senseless to go after stuff like this manually, because there's a lot of people that actually use bots. Like I talked about my bot earlier, that I'm even too lazy to fire up and throw on some of these sites. But tell me a little bit more about if that's true and how you would go about and approach this, since you've been a manual copper for almost a decade now, which is, for those of you that don't know what a manual copper is, it doesn't mean like he's going out there and boxing people and throwing down with anybody he sees and he's a cop or anything like that. It means that he's been going out there to these sites with just his hand. And obviously he might have had a lot of exercise on that hand because he lifts a lot of weights. But the reality is that he's manually doing this. So he's quick trigger finger, quick hand. how hard is it for manual coppers to do this? And what kind of experience have you had is what I'm basically asking.
Yeah, I know that's a great question. So, I mean, it's definitely true. I'm not going to say that it's going to be super easy. Bots are definitely out there. They're definitely wreaking havoc on these sort of like Shopify stores. A Kit is a Shopify store. What I have to say is it's still definitely possible to cop these things. Stores have been implementing measures where there's like additional security questions that maybe bots can't bypass. For example, Eric Emanuel, another sort of like New York streetwear brand, he actually asks questions that people have to type in. For example, there was a question where he would ask, is avocado a fruit or a vegetable? Like you literally have to type in that answer. So this is just some things before you can check out. So things like that, you can definitely bypass and get through. See, like these hats here, I would say pretty much any of these hats, those bottom two for sure are gonna have strong resale values. So tomorrow, 9 a.m. Eastern time is when they drop online at justkits.com. So this is definitely something we're going to be looking forward to, and we're going to be manually copying. And again, it's you might be investing like 10 minutes going on there and trying to cop this, like, and your potential outcome.
It depends. I was waiting about 2 hours for those Beeb Crocs, and then
waiting in line though. But I mean, again, when we were waiting 2 hours, it doesn't mean that that's the only thing you can do, right? Like, you might be waiting around. You could do other work on your computer. So it's just, again, it's like a low stress. And when something hits like that dopamine rush, like it's kind of fun to get rare items, right?
Yeah, and I will say this much, like I guess this is a good way to move into what we were going to talk about is what we've copped this week, because there's been a couple really rare items that you manually copped this week. And like I said, most people say like, oh, don't do it, don't do that, it doesn't work. Just like they say like online business doesn't work. And like I said, I've been doing this stuff for 20, 25 years almost. And the reality is that yes, it does work. So Kevin, you want to talk a little bit about one of the cops that you had this week, since we kind of already, is this what they're called? The off Noir, right?
Oh yeah. So these are the Jordan. I actually have them right here. Let me grab them real quick.
So yeah, this is goes to show you guys that we actually do this. Like Kevin copped these. Obviously he didn't alert me because I didn't get shit, but Kevin did cop them. Not that I'm jealous or anything. I had some huge stores myself. I got to take a look.
The box right here.
Let's move.
This is just off the sneakers app. If you guys see the box, it's actually a pretty nice design, right? Union.
That is a very nice design with some hand. Are those like Jordan's hands or something?
Yeah, those are Jordan's hands. Manual copped.
Manual cop. So Kevin, what do you plan to get for that?
I set the price pretty high. I think right now the offers are I think it's like $550 right now. So I bought it for about $270. So offers right now are for $550. What do I think it's going to sell for? Come closer to Christmas time, like this thing is going to sell for like I would say about $700 to $800 once some of the scarcity, some of the items are bought. So manual cop, it works. You get lucky. You just wake up, press a button on your phone, and it's kind of like playing the lottery, except you don't have to put any money in.
Yeah, I would say that's a pretty damn good cop, Kevin. Like you really, that day you got a horseshoe up your ass, my friend.
I mean, start your day by making what, $250? That's I took a PTO after that.
Horseshoe. Yeah, that's fantastic. So that's a pretty good one. Now let me show you guys something that I copped. And again, all these I'm adding into the server because sometimes they just pop up and then we add them a little bit at a time. So again, we don't want to overload your phone. And I will get into, somebody asked a great question. How can you tell if these things are going to be profitable? So at the end of this stream, I will stay on extra and show you guys how we go about and do that. But let's talk about one drop that I missed. So I want you guys to be careful with this. There's a lot of speculation, a lot of debate as to whether or not this actual, what do we say? This actual site is having like decent cops anymore. So let me go to the site now and switch over. And I know Kevin knows what I'm talking about here. So can you see my screen, Kevin?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
We're
so
good.
Funko. So Funko had something called Funko Ween. And is that the last event they had, Kevin, was Funko Ween?
Yeah, I think that's the very last one. Yep.
Yeah. And the one actual, Yeah, they came out with this line of Marty McFlys from Back to the Future, and there was one Funko Pop that people were speculating as to whether or not it was going to do any good because of the fact that Funko lately, everything they've been dropping has kind of somewhat flopped a little. It hasn't done as good as it's done in the past, but they actually dropped one of these Marty McFlys wearing one of the most elusive sneaker ever made, which is the Nike Mags, which were actually taken from Back to the Future. It was either 2 or 3 where he's wearing those shoes, and those shoes have fetched upwards of as much as like 100K. So I actually had a pair myself that I sold. I can't even remember when it was, but I didn't sell them for 100K. I sold them for quite a bit, but they're one of the most elusive pairs of sneakers ever created. Now, so the reason I'm mentioning this to you guys is there will be several Funko drops here and there, and you just want to be really careful with these. They do have limits, so you really can't go overboard, but just be careful which ones you go for and buy these a little bit more with caution until kind of Funko settles down and starts putting out a little less than the usual amount. So did you manage to actually see what that Marty McFly was selling for, Kevin?
I didn't actually see, but I agree with you. Like there's some issues right now with like limited, people are saying the Funko drops are not as limited, meaning they're having a lot more product out there. But I think if you're thinking about trends, Back to the Future obviously has a huge following. Air Mags in the sneaker world have a cult following, right? So these two combinations, it's definitely still an item that you can make some. We call this lunch money, right?
Right, absolutely. And these guys are still selling for a solid $45. So they're only $15 on the Funko site. I think you can get limit 2, and you have to pay shipping when you spend under 50. So worst case scenario, you would have ended up with these two puppies at about $20, $22 a piece. So you are getting lunch money. You're probably netting about $15 for again, this is like really good lunch money. So they're still worth the grab. And the way that I look at things is if you can grab 2 of these and make $30 in a day, that if you can do $30 a day, just from the comfort of your own home, that's an extra $1,000. Now we're talking about rent money. We're not just talking about lunch money. We're not talking about car money. We're talking about rent money or entertainment money. Like I know a lot of you guys and girls have crazy hobbies. So that'll help you out with that. So I just wanted to run that by you before we actually talk about something that I managed to snag up this week. And it was this actual product right here. So I do advise if you're going to do this long term, here's a piece of advice: have multiple Walmart accounts. If you can possible, have multiple Amazon accounts. Kevin, how many Amazon accounts do you have? How many are you up to?
Yeah, so I currently have 2 Amazon Prime accounts. So I have just sort of like your personal Amazon Prime account, and then I also have like an Amazon Business Prime account. So
how about Walmart?
Walmart, I think I have 3. I have 3 Walmart accounts.
I've also got 3. You just made me realize I have a third one that my personal one. So the reason I say this is I actually found these. I saw these online. I immediately went over to cop them, and I managed to get 12 on one account. And then I logged into another account. I got 12 more, and I should have logged into the third and gotten 12 more. These are this box of these football trading cards. And I want to show you guys anything card related right now is fire. So if you do your research and find out the right ones, and I'll probably be doing some sort of write-up or something in one of the groups so you guys can see which ones are fire. But these in particular right now are selling at about $50 a box,
wow,
$40 to $50 a box, and I got 25 of them. So that's, what kind of money is that? I can't even add that high. Like I have problems even adding how old I am.
Yeah, that's borderline. That's borderline rent money. That's between the car. That's a high-end car money.
Yeah. So I caught these in the matter of minutes. Like I'm talking about minutes. So all it takes is you being at the computer at the right place at the right time, and then just clicking fast enough. So hopefully a lot of you guys are getting that exercise on that hand. Whatever you do, Orange Theory or weights or whatnot. Kevin, get your mind out of the gutter, buddy. I know what you're giggling about. I tell you guys, Kevin, we got to watch out for Kevin. So that's my big cop of the week. Any other things you cop, Kevin? And now he's crystal clear. Who can see Kevin now? Now can you guys see how he did a tremendous job on his hair? Wow, right?
Recent cops. I think. Oh well, I guess two more Bowflexes. I mean, I guess I am the Bowflex king. So purchased two more Bowflexes this past week. So they're getting. I think they're getting here tomorrow. So I'm gonna be flipping those this weekend.
Yeah, I got I wasn't too successful other than those cards and a bunch of Pokemon cards. That's really about all I got this week. I have not gone out in the field yet. So I kind of got a question for you guys. I don't even know how to do a poll here. I know there's a way to do a poll on YouTube, but would you guys rather have me cop at my house tomorrow or head out on the streets and show you guys what I found? Because I do have a special kind of surprise. Kevin and I found a good product for you guys to actually cop in the streets. So let's see. We're going to add the new cards to Discord. Absolutely. Is there stuff that we can buy under $5? It's very rare. Like, I mean, the Pokemon cards are $20. That's probably about the cheapest that you'll get. There's stuff that you can find in the stores that's under $5. Like, I'm about to show you one that's actually about it's what is it? It's under $5, right, Kevin? It's not these Funkos. Let me find it here. This is it right here. It's this Charlie Brown set. I believe it's this one. Right now, these are $20 in store, and you can go on here right now and hit check inventory, and then hit your zip code, and then hit show offers, and it's going to tell you where in your neck of the woods this is located. And you'll see that here they've got 2 to 3 and 2 to 3 here, and these right now I believe are hitting 60, but they should hit probably, I think they might even be hitting 40 to 50 right now, but they should hit 60 to 80 come closer to Christmas. So you'll notice that there's 2 to 3 in each of these two areas. And there's also this one also sells too. So let me see. Let me go back to it. This one. It's not available online, but we can check inventory in your local Walmart. Just hit show offers. So this is an extremely useful site to find out if they have something in store. Anything else you've seen, Kevin, that's available locally? I know you can't do a lot of local shopping. You're kind of stuck in your house in San Francisco.
Yeah, locally. So I would say some of the things that we're just kind of looking out for. I don't know any about potential local deals, but things that we're looking out for are definitely anything related to like video games, right? So obviously we have like the Mario carts, we have the Luigi carts, different like Thrustmaster, like airplane joysticks that you plug into your computer. I think those are coming out, or those are already out, and they've been pretty hot. So I think that's what I'm sort of like keeping my eye out on sort of like the upcoming week about things you can buy.
Yeah, let me show you guys. I'll see if I can pull up a Thrustmaster, but these Bose Alto audio sunglasses also are showing up all over the place for $59.99. And these, if you'll note, at some Walmarts, they're $199, but at other Walmarts, they're $59. You want to go to the ones that they're $59.99 at. And you want to try and pick these up. They're usually in the electronics section, but these are actually selling on eBay for on or around, I think, $150, if I'm not mistaken. And like I said, they're $60. 165. Let's take a look at the sold. That's how you always check and see if something is selling. You go to the sold. 166, 165. These are new. 127, 128. But recently they've gone up to about 166, 135. So yeah, if you can go to the site, it's called brickseek.com, and take a look at those and see if they're in stock, then it's obviously well worth it. Now, the one trick this does not work on is those basketball and football cards. And ask me how I found out last week. I hit the road and I went looking for those things because it said that every single Walmart near me had 6. And I was like, holy crap, I can make like 10K here. And they didn't have a damn thing. So you can imagine how pissed I was. I've got that video coming up so you guys can see what happens when I hit the streets in Florida. All right, what do we got next, Kevin? I know we still got a lot of stuff to talk about.
Yeah, I think we're kind of winding down. We already talked about our recent cops this week. We could do a little bit of a store update about some of the things that we're kind of seeing, sort of like in on Amazon across the board, Target, Walmart. Some of the things that we're seeing. Do we have any other questions maybe in the comments that we can field?
Yeah, there's a couple questions I see there from a couple people. Let's see. Yeah, the one thing that I did want to show is this Thrustmasters. Show people how that happens. Kevin, you did cop a couple Bowflexes. Did you already talk about you're still grabbing those things and they're still selling?
Yeah. So I mentioned earlier that I bought two Bowflexes, adjustable weights. It's still selling locally. It's just a hot product, and as it gets closer to the holidays, that might be a good gift for someone. So people are still paying a premium on that.
Right, absolutely. So let's take some of these questions and then let's talk about what the plans are for the week, what you think you're going to be doing, what stores are going to be hot and all that good stuff. And then what I'm planning to do, because I see a lot of people want me to hit the streets, Kevin. Can you imagine that? They actually want me out there hitting the streets, seeing what I find in the Walmart. You guys will notice that some of the footage I recorded, I didn't go in store because I kind of found out that I sort of need a new phone. My phone kind of sucks. The camera kind of really sucks. And it's not the greatest phone in the world, but I think I'm going to upgrade to maybe an iPhone 12 or something with a better camera because I'm always recording stuff. All right, let's get some of these questions. Chris says, how do you find out what items will go higher towards Christmas time? Is this from experience or is there a certain way to find this out? Kevin, how do you do this?
Yeah, I would say from my perspective, it's a lot of it is experience, right? So if you sort of like reading just headlines about like up and coming hot products coming out, any sort of things related to video games, what kids like. I think every Christmas time there's always some type of like children's toy, right? That's always going to be popping off and hard to get. I would say a lot of it is experience, but a lot of times it's kind of just like common sense as well, right? Like you see a few things, it's hard to buy, it's out of stock. You go to your local store, you ask them if there's a stock of like Nintendo Switches, and if there isn't, most likely that thing is only going to get even more and more rare as Christmas rolls around the corner. So I think it's just sort of like your collective experience coming together. Obviously, if you're in the Discord group, feel free to use the chat. We'll definitely be dropping knowledge there too, saying, hey, this is what we think is going to be good. Our announcement tabs are going to be really great for that. We'll post things. And quite frankly, you can even ask us. Like usually when we post something, we'll also say that, hey, this is something that we bought. So I think it's, sorry, that was kind of a long-winded answer, but I think experience and just feel free to ask us. We're always happy to share our perspective and our knowledge on that.
Yeah, I've found in all my years of experience that usually any kind of video game related item is going to be crazy, like hot. It's going to sell extremely well. Any kind of kid's toy where mom, dad have to buy their kid exactly what they ask for is going to be hot. In this case, because of COVID, for some reason, these cards, Pokemon was here 20 years ago and it was extremely hot. It was like my first massive amount of money that I made. I actually told Kevin how much money I made selling Pokemon cards 20 years ago and he nearly shit his pants. That's part of the reason he had to go do his hair because he like was so in shock. He literally was like pulling his hair out. He's like, what? So he kind of was like, why are you going so heavy on these Pokemon cards? And I was like, because I've been there before. I saw these things go nuts 20 years ago. So
absolutely.
Yeah. And let's just answer a bet asks, are there items under $5? No, there's not items under $5 online. Maybe in store, but I haven't really seen one. So I would highly recommend you go to the $20 mark, which I kind of already touched on again.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's kind of a little bit blend of experience as well as just knowing what items are going to be fire coming up close to this season. So the Brick Seek items are items locally. That is correct, Chris. They are. Let's see. Will there be a replay of this video? Absolutely. Let's see. Do we list? Somebody asked if they have the exact process. Step 1, purchase from Walmart or local store. Step 2, have products delivered to your house. Correct. And step 3, list them on eBay. Right. Correct. That's it. It's as easy as that. But the reason I like the online version is because I sit and I click buttons. That's all I do. Yeah. Now, one of the things that we're working at cleaning up here on the server is there's a lot of products that we have not taken off that probably won't do as well. Like one thing to be careful is like, for example, these Pokemon cards, they're listed at $29.50. This is not a good price. They retail at $29.50. So we should take those off. They should only be purchased. That's why it's really important that you do your due diligence. Don't just come in here and say like, oh, this is an alert. I got to buy all these. That's not going to work because there's some things that we need to clear off. Every week, these products change, new ones are added, and old ones are taken off. So for example, right now, there's a huge, massive influx of Animal Crossing Nintendo Switch. Kevin said he doesn't like it. He's bearish on these, and I'm bullish. So I've got a couple stashed, which when Nintendo Switches disappear, I imagine they're going to go up, but I can afford to sit on those, right? These freezers were hot during the summer. They were popping off at about $500 a pop locally, but now at $250, not a lot of people are probably stocking up on freezers. So we're going to be modifying these later today and tomorrow. And so I want you, when you see something come up, almost get good enough at just becoming familiar with everything that you know sells or doesn't sell, because then when you see it pop up, you're ready to go. So like last night, I saw the Walmart one pop up a couple things, and I was like, oh yeah, this is awesome. But a lot of these we need to remove. And in a lot of regards, you guys need to get active in here and on the chat say like, you know what, Liz, we're not seeing these freezers return enough bang for the buck. Can you please remove them from the monitor? And then I'll take a closer look at them, because there's literally so many products that we have in here, but it's only going out there and seeing if they're available. And if they're not, then we don't tell you. And if they are, we tell you. So we kind of need a heads up from you guys if you've managed to check them out. And again, like I said, this is beta. So this is very, very new. So we would highly appreciate your help doing that. Like, for example, the last time Target had anything we told it to pop up was these Charizard cards, which are a huge, yes, you should cop them. They're absolutely insane. Like, these are going to be ridiculous come Christmas time. So, all right, that's enough there. Let's see if we have any other questions, Kevin, and then we'll talk about what we're looking forward to.
Yeah. So one quick point on the server as well. So it's actually not just like, even though we have a bunch of deals in terms of like what's coming in and out of stock, what's hot. One thing that we also tend to mention in there are just like discount codes, pricing errors, right? So I think yesterday there was an Uber Eats deal for a free $10 in your account for just entering in a code, right? So things like that. Earlier this week, there was a RX bar, RX nutritional bar, protein bars that were like 50% off, right? So just things like that. So keep in mind that this group is just sort of like for all encompassing deals, whether you're reselling it, whether it's for personal consumption with like anything related to food. That's what makes this group so powerful, because we're just continuously aggregating like really good deals online that most people don't see.
Right. And Julie says she sold her Pokemon cards 3 years ago. What a shame at a yard sale. Yeah. I think that was Logan Paul that had a video where he opened up like $200,000 Pokemon box or something of that nature. And there was also an eBay listing with, was it 100 Charizards at $100K? I think it was
millions. I think it was in the millions.
Yeah. I think it's still up there, but I don't know. It's like ridiculous, something ridiculous. So yes, Pokemon cards are still hot. RX bars, yeah. Kevin just copped some of those too earlier today. He told me, "Hey, you want some of these RX bars?" And I was like, "No, thank you. I'll stick to some McDonald's French fries or some pizza." I'm totally kidding with you guys, even though I do love the pizza. But I was kidding about the McDonald's fries. Charizard First Edition 10 PSA goes for 100K plus. Wow, that's insane. I actually do think I have a Charizard back home in Texas, so we'll see what I get. All right, so Kevin, what are you looking forward to this week? What stores are you going to be hitting heavy? And then we're going to make a decision as to whether I'm going to be at home tomorrow copying and doing research for you guys, an incentive, or if you guys want me to hit the streets and not be able to do that much research for you.
Nice.
Which one do you guys want? So think about that. Kevin, what are you going to be hitting this next week? What's your goals this week? What are you going to hit hard?
Yeah, so I think goals this week, obviously, since I'm sheltering in place hard still in San Francisco, there's actually, I don't even think there's a Walmart nearby me. I think the closest Walmart next near me is like an hour away. But I would say anything related to weights, I'm still going after. Anything related to, well now, hearing your Pokemon story, any sort of card related things, like you're absolutely right. I don't know if it's quarantine, just popping off cards. People are collecting them again. And if you really think about sort of like the NBA, right? NBA just ended. There's a lot of good rookies in this NBA season. Those of you who pay attention to football, there are a ton of good rookie wide receivers this year. I don't know what it is. This year just happens to be super hot. And I think those products are just going to pop off. Everyone knows sort of like rookie cards are the thing to get. I think, Liz, you mentioned that football season. I mean, it's kind of halfway there, but prices are already crazy. So when it ends, it's only going to get better. So I think looking forward to next week, the rest of this week, obviously always Bowflexes. But I want to start stocking up heavy on cards. I think those are going to be, from your experience, a pretty good thing. And those of you who don't know, my reselling experience started about a couple of months ago. I literally just followed exactly what Liz said and have been making money off of it. So if you're saying Pokemon cards next, I mean, I think I have to jump on that train.
Yeah, I think Kevin, I showed Kevin this after I was doing it for a couple of days, the online thing, at least this way with Discord and how with building bots and doing stuff like that with Josh, who you guys have kind of talked about, who's really smart and brilliant and was able to build these bots of these deals I was finding. And he was in from that day, and like he surpassed me when I took some time off. He crushed me with those Bowflex. So Bowflex King in the house. Chris asks, do you get excited to get back into Pokemon cards? Not sure if you ever stopped. I did stop, Chris. The Pokemon cards are in my garage catching or collecting dust. But I'll tell you one thing. There's always been a soft spot in my heart for Pika. Like Pika owns a piece of my heart because of how much money that mofo made me. Like I seriously would almost get that little yellow guy tattooed like a tramp stamp somewhere, Because literally that little guy just he's what the house that Liz built is all based off of little Pika. So I definitely would be open to that at some point if he made me some more money like that. So that's how much I love the little yellow guy. So, okay, let me talk about what I'm looking forward to. So I'm looking forward to, it looks like people want me to hit the streets, Kevin. People wanted me to hit the streets, which is like, damn, that means I'm not going to be able to do that much work and get you guys that much more deals. But I'll hit the streets. If you guys want a video and you want to see what happens when I hit the streets, I do have to take Robbo, who's my assistant, to drive me around because as you guys know, I don't have a car here. I have an Uber. So Robbo will get me to the places I need to go. And the only question remains, do you guys want me to cop some shoes or do you want me to go to Walmart and Target and see what kind of crap I can find in there? So let me know that in the comments. But so far, it seems like the whole party, Kevin, is leaning towards Liz, hit the streets.
Nice.
Getting a little stressful here. So it looks like I'm going to be hitting the streets. Let me know what you guys would rather have me actual cop, though. Shoes or stuff at Walmart. I'll tell you, Walmart's not my cup of tea. I went into Walmart and I was like, wow, this is like another world, another world. I was like, wow, this is so interesting. I can't even remember the last time I stepped into a Walmart. I'm too much of an online kid, Let's see what other comments we have before we call it a day here. So that's kind of what I'm looking forward to. I'm looking forward to all that, especially cards, like Kevin said. I feel like if at this moment I could put all the money that I had into cards, particularly basketball ones, some football ones, and some Pikachu, like I would go all in on cards. Now, not the ones like I showed you. Be very careful. Do your due diligence. I showed you guys earlier in the video, if you got here late, how to do your due diligence using eBay, the eBay calculator, and then the monitors that you're given. And remember, like the first time you see a product, you might have to do all that due diligence and not cop it and miss out on it, but that's completely fine because the second time you'll remember it and you'll be ready to rock and roll. So don't feel discouraged if you miss out on it the first time. I can't tell you how many times I've missed out on stuff, but if I'm at the right place at the right time, I will cop that crap and I will make some money. So for me, things I look forward to is I've got about 50 to 100 listings going up this week. Finally, after about 10 days of putting everything together and in place, that's going to be going up. And I still got a lot of things going on that I got to take care of other than that. But I will be also hitting the groups and making sure you guys get and make some money in these next few weeks while the group is still in beta and is still free. So let's go ahead and finish off here what we've got here. Questions. Let's see. Making great sales with t-shirts, masks, and stickers. Fantastic. Good for you, Abed. Or yeah, I bet I said that right. Walmart, Target. Oh, Chris, you really want me to hit the streets, man. Yes, who needs a butterfly when you have Pika? Exactly. Who needs the butterfly tramp stamps? We got the Pika one. I'm all for the Pika one. At least got a little lightning bolt. That's a lot cooler than butterfly. Let's see. What else do we have? Anything is valuable, really. Stuff, but I love shoes. Somebody votes for shoes. Do what you think works. Yeah, maybe, Garen, maybe what I'll do is I'll just do a mix. So I might just do a mix. Hit the streets with your Pokemon face mask. Surprisingly, I do not have one. I have this pink one. Let me show you guys. Here's my pink face mask that I got. It's polyurethane. It's very breathable. And I hit the streets with this thing. Keeps me safe. It's nice and cozy. I could pretty much wear it all day. But I will try to get, next time I'm going to get a yellow one, and I'm going to put a Pika sticker, and I'm going to show you guys. I'm going to put a Pika sticker in. It's all about the Charizard right now. Market was already hot, and Logan Paul set Pokemon on fire. Can you share a spreadsheet to keep track? Yeah, we'll definitely get a spreadsheet in there, Chris. Mask up, glove up, and hit the street, Liz. Another vote for hit the streets. Man, people like me out in the streets, Kevin. You know, it's a shame I can't take them everywhere I go out in the streets. They would have too much fun here. Yes, mix. You guys haven't seen me crazy in the streets when I have to earn my name, the Hurricane. Then it would be too much debauchery, too much fun, too much just crazy, insane fun. But
Slurricane Liz.
There's a reason I earned this name, girls and boys. It's not because I talk faster. It's not because I do some Fast and Furious videos. It's for other reasons. Chris Cash might actually know some of those reasons. Chris Cash is a buddy of mine that I know I know Chris from real life. So that's why he's in here asking about Pika. Yes, we want you street walking. Okay, yeah, old egg. you know when I talked about the street walking. Not a lot of people got it, but I'm glad that you did. All right, fantastic. Well, we thank you guys for joining us on the first ever show, and I do promise you it will get better as we move along and we learn some of these controls and we kind of come up with the format. So next time we'll be a little bit better prepared with the timing, with Kevin's mic. Kevin's hair. Your hair was on point. It was just your camera. You didn't even have to do your hair, Kevin. Your camera was half the time blurry. Kevin's beautiful locks. So fantastic. As usual, if you guys have any questions or comments, I am working on a lot of KDP actual videos that should be out next week. And of course, we're going to hit the streets. I will be recording that. So we'll see what pops up. Awesome. Thank you. Have a great evening.
Have a good one, guys.
Somebody liked pixelated Kevin. You see that? Kevin, the pixelated guy. Know where to log in. I don't know if you guys can still see me. Yeah. You go to discord.com and log in on Discord. I don't think it's letting me end the thing. So yeah, so you